All right, welcome back to TESS'S Cryptids. And, you guys send in some really freaky stuff sometimes. This one is no exception.
Yeah.
This one, we're diving into the Sigbin, coming straight out of Philippine mythology,
Mm-hmm.
a creature that apparently likes to suck blood,
Ah.
walk backward,
Oh.
hide in the shadows,
Yeah.
and has a smell that would make a garbage dump blush.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah, not exactly something you want to bump into on a dark night.
That's a big note for me on that one.
Yeah,
That's definitely a hard pass.
definitely a hard pass.
The interesting thing is, when you start looking into the Sigbin, some sources categorize it as a familiar,
Right.
which means it's like a supernatural helper.
Oh,
And it's often linked to like witchcraft and dark magic.
okay.
So it really makes you wonder,
Yeah.
is it a monster in like the classic sense? Like what exactly are we dealing with here?
Well, let's try to unpack that.
Okay.
Because some of the descriptions that we have of this thing paint a pretty vivid picture. People say it's goat-like with these giant ears.
Yeah.
That it can like clap.
Clap its ears.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Super creepy, right?
It's really creepy, yeah.
And then it also has a really long, flexible tail,
Okay.
which I don't even know what that's for. But the freakiest thing of all is that it can vanish,
Oh, wow.
especially from humans. Like it can just disappear.
So it can become invisible.
Yeah, it can become invisible.
Oh.
So that backward walk is a little unsettling.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's almost like it's intentionally avoiding eye contact,
Oh.
which combined with that stealth ability
Yeah.
just makes it even creepier. Like it's up to something no good.
Oh, it's definitely up to no good.
Uh,
Speaking of no good,
okay.
things are about to get a lot darker because there is this belief
Yeah.
that the Sigbin likes to come out during Holy Week.
Really?
And you know who it targets? Children.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Why children?
Well, that's the really messed up part. It is said that the Sigbin steals children's hearts.
What?
Yeah, to make amulets out of them.
Oh, that is dark.
I know, it's a very grim detail.
That is incredibly grim.
And it makes this creature's image a lot more sinister.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I don't get?
What?
Why hearts?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I was reading a little bit about Filipino folklore, and they believe that hearts hold not only like life force,
Right.
and also courage and willpower.
Wow.
So maybe by stealing hearts, the Sigbin isn't just,
Right.
taking a life. It's trying to steal like the very essence of what makes someone strong
Well, that's a good point.
and resilient.
So it's not just physical.
Right. It's like spiritual too.
It's taking away your spirit as well.
Exactly.
Oh, that's pretty intense.
Mhm.
Okay, well, then there's this whole other aspect to this
Mhm.
with the Sigbin,
Right. The Sigbin.
these families that are said to actually possess these creatures.
Oh, wow.
And they keep them in clay jars.
Like they're pets or something.
Yeah, like some kind of dark secret, right?
That is so bizarre.
So are they trying to control these creatures, or are they being controlled by them?
That is a very good question.
Or is it some kind of weird symbiotic relationship?
It really makes you think about the whole relationship between humans
Yeah,
and the supernatural in Filipino culture.
because this is not the only creature
Right.
that has these connections
Yeah, not at all.
to humans.
Mm.
But, I did read somewhere that some people think that the Sigbin might be a real animal,
Really?
like some kind of kangaroo relative
I've heard that.
that
Yeah.
migrated from Australia millions of years ago.
Millions of years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, that sounds a little far-fetched to me.
It does sound a little far-fetched.
Because, first of all, kangaroos are herbivores.
right.
They're not bloodsuckers.
They're not out there hunting children for their hearts.
Exactly. And then there's the whole Wallace line thing.
Yeah, the Wallace line. That's a good point.
Which is like this geographical boundary
Yeah.
that separates the regions, which would make a migration like that pretty impossible, I think.
It's a tough sell, for sure.
Okay.
But, honestly, it's these inconsistencies
Right.
that make folklore so fascinating.
It's true.
Maybe the Sigbin represents something else entirely.
Okay, like what?
Could it be a manifestation of some kind of primal fear?
Oh,
A cautionary tale
okay.
woven into Filipino culture to keep children safe?
Right.
I mean, think about it. If you're a kid
Yeah.
and you hear stories about this creepy creature that comes out at night,
Yeah.
steals hearts, walks backward, you're going to stay inside.
You're going to stay
They
inside.
better be good.
You're going to listen to your parents.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's true. It does make you think about how these stories are passed down through generations.
Mm-hmm.
They become so ingrained in the cultural fabric.
Right, like warnings.
Yeah, warnings and just
Mhm.
part of their history. you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, the Sigbin might be most prevalent in the Visayas Islands and Mindanao,
Okay.
but its tail echoes across the Philippines, like everybody's heard of it.
It's become like a national boogeyman almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Filipino boogeyman.
Yeah.
And it changes and evolves along the way depending on, who's telling the story and where they're from.
Right. Every village might have their own little spin on it.
Right. And speaking of interconnectedness
Okay.
with other creatures,
Yes.
we can't forget about the aswang,
Oh, the aswang.
another creature from Filipino folklore.
Another creepy one.
Oh, yeah, a very creepy one. Often depicted as shape-shifting
Right.
and just generally monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
But some stories claim that the aswang actually keeps Sigbin as pets.
Oh, wow. Like attack dogs.
Yeah, like attack dogs or something. So that suggests that there's like this whole complex hierarchy
Right.
within this world of mythical creatures.
Like an ecosystem of monsters.
Yeah, exactly, an ecosystem of monsters.
That's really interesting.
So I guess the question is the Sigbin a monster, a myth, or something in between?
I mean, it's a tough one to answer.
Because we've got all these different pieces of the puzzle. We've got the blood-sucking, the heart-stealing, the backward walking, the awful smell,
The invisibility.
the invisibility, the fact that it might be controlled by these families.
Right.
Or maybe even, a misidentified kangaroo.
Right. Who knows?
But maybe it's just
Yeah.
manifestation of deeper cultural anxieties.
That is a good possibility.
Yeah.
It could be all of those things.
Yeah, or none of them.
Or none of
I
them.
don't know.
That's where you, the listener,
Right.
come in.
Yes, listeners.
What do you think?
What are your theories?
Is there any truth to this Sigbin legend?
Is it hidden away by the Sigdinan?
Right. Are they out there protecting us from it?
Protecting us from it, yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe they're using it for their own purposes.
Oh, that's a good point.
Who knows?
Yeah, is it a distorted memory of some real creature?
Like a weird, messed up kangaroo.
Yeah. Or is it purely a product of imagination and fear, designed to teach these important lessons?
To keep kids in line.
Yeah, to keep kids in line. So many questions.
So many questions, not a lot of answers.
Not a lot of answers, but that's what makes it so fun to talk about.
Exactly. That's the joy of cryptids.
So I think we've only just scratched the surface here
Yeah, I think we need to do a lot more research.
of this creature's secrets.
We've got a lot more to uncover.
The line between monster and myth is definitely blurred,
It is. It's very blurry.
much like the Sigbin itself,
Hmm.
lurking in the shadows,
Always watching.
always watching. So until next time, be sure to subscribe to TESS'S Cryptids
Yeah, and keep sending us those stories.
for more explorations
We love hearing them.
into the world of mythical creatures.
And who knows, maybe we'll feature your story next.
Maybe we will, you never know. All right, see you later.